What up, YouTube? What up, Fight World? It's your boy D Dynamite here, and I'm spitting some of that boxing crack at you. So go ahead and get your syringes and your crack pipes ready. I'm going in. So, people, let's go ahead and talk about this event, this Showtime event. All right. I want to talk about Chavez Jr. versus Fonfara, but before I get into that, I want to talk about the young master, Amir Imam versus Cantillo. I don't know what the dude's name is, okay? God damn it, I forgot. Anyway, this was a pretty entertaining fight. I thought the other guy, Castillo. Anyway, I thought the dude came to fight. I thought he came out very aggressive. He did what anybody who fights with that kind of style would want to do early on in the fight. Very aggressive, very abrupt and raw. When he came at Amir Imam, and he looked like he troubled Imam a little bit in the beginning of the fight. And you could see that Imam kind of took control towards the middle and end of the fight. But overall, the Castillo, he was very aggressive. Now, the point of me talking about this is to talk about Amir Imam. I think Imam is a rising star in boxing. I think that he is definitely going to go far in boxing, but there's definitely a lot of things that I want to see progress and evolve from Imam. And if he can make those changes, not really changes, but if he can just evolve as a fighter, keep adding things to his tool shed, okay? That's where a lot of fighters come up short, all right? They get to a certain point and they stop growing. They stop learning, okay? And you should never stop learning, because if you stop learning, that's the same as being dead. All right, you should always be learning, always adding things to your arsenal, because there's always something new to learn in boxing. All right, anybody that says they know everything about boxing, they don't know shit. All right, so as far as that's concerned, like I said, I just want to see some progression from Imam before I would put him in the ring with some top 140 pounders. Okay, he definitely has a nice jab, a nice power in that right hand that can stop anybody, but I want to see that foot movement evolve. I want to see him moving around the ring a little bit more fluid. I want to see him not laying on the ropes as long, but he has good rope game. I mean, he can fight off of the ropes, but I don't think that he should lay on the ropes as long, because if he was up against maybe a better caliber fighter, he might have been in some real trouble. But luckily, he can fight. Well, not really luckily, but Imam can fight pretty good off of the ropes, and he definitely proved that he's more than just a one-trick pony in this fight. But again, I want to see some evolution. I want to see some progression from Imam. I definitely don't want to see him stop. All right, at this level, I want to see him keep going. And if he can keep progressing, he can keep learning. I see him doing some big things at 140 pounds, and he definitely looks like a kid that can go ahead and move up to 147 pounds and do some damage there. But I want to see those legs get bigger. I want to see better foot movement. All right, I want to see him not use that. It looks like he used somewhat of a Philly shell defense, but I want to see a little bit of mix up as far as his defense is concerned. I want to see those hands up sometime. All right. I just want to see more variety from him in general, okay? I just want to see more offensively, more defensively. I want to see him add things to his game. I just want to see the kid get better, because he has a lot of potential, a lot of talent, and he has a lot of power to provide some very entertaining fights for us at the 140-pound and 147-pound division. Anyway, enough about that. On to the main event. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Andrzej Fonfara. Anyway, people, before I even talk about this fight, I just want, there's a lot of shit that Chavez Jr. is getting about, just in general, about this fight, and you know what I mean? And I just kind of want to put some shit out there, because here's the thing, people, all right? We beg our fighters to fight top competition, all right? Top level competition, all right? To challenge themselves. We want them to constantly challenge themselves. All right. And then when we do, we give them shit about it. All right. So I just want to go on record of saying that I just want to give props to Julio Cesar Chavez for taking a difficult fight. Andrzej Fonfara is a top-notch 175-pound fighter. Okay. It doesn't get much better than Andrzej Fonfara. He gave Adonis Stevenson one of his toughest fights. All right. This dude is the real deal. So for Julio Cesar Chavez to come out and fight Andrzej Fonfara, Julio Cesar Chavez coming off of a long layoff. I don't know when this dude's last fight was. All right, going up a weight division. Okay, to fight Andrzej Fonfara, he deserves credit for that. Okay, now I don't know if he didn't study Fonfara enough or what it was exactly, but he definitely, his intention was to definitely pick a tough opponent to give an entertaining fight. All right, and that's what he set out to do. So I can't do nothing but give Julio Cesar Chavez credit for doing that. All right, now as far as the fight's concerned, Chavez Jr., he was definitely overmatched. Okay, Fonfara was bigger, Fonfara was faster, Fonfara was stronger. All right, Fonfara had the overall better technical skills than Julio Cesar Chavez. All right, Chavez, he wins majority of his fights through attrition, through just sheer will. All right, he's not the most technically sound boxer, but he has a big punch for the most part. All right, he's somebody who he's gonna outlast you, he's gonna pressure you, he's gonna bulldoze you into the ropes, and he just could not do that to Fonfara. Fonfara had too much technical skill. He was just too big for that. All right, so Chavez Jr. could not do the same things to Fonfara that he normally does to fighters that are smaller in the lower weight division. Chavez Jr. definitely belongs at 168 pounds. He has no business at 175 pounds at this point in his career. All right. And you guys also got to take something else into consideration. Chavez fought majority of his career at 160 pounds. So his last two fights were against Brian Vera at 168 pounds. But, I mean, look at the fun facts here. Brian Vera just fought Willie Monroe Jr. at 160 pounds. So, really, we're talking about a 160-pounder who fought at 168 pounds. All right? I've even heard of Brian Vera fighting at 154 pounds. So, just to make matters clear, Brian Vera is a very small super middleweight when they fought. All right? Technically a middleweight. All right? And Chavez has been fighting at 160 pounds this whole time. And he fought Vera, which is really a 160-pounder, at 168 pounds. So, Chavez, when he took this fight, he took a fight with a true 175-pounder. Really, Chavez Jr. moved up 2 weight classes, if you really think about it. Because Brian Vera is not a super middleweight. He's really a middleweight. All right? So, Chavez is fighting a light heavyweight when all his experience is at middleweight. Okay? So, that's a very big gap in weight, people. All right? We're talking about 2 weight divisions. All right? We're talking about 16 pounds. All right? Even to a casual fan, that's a lot of weight. All right? So, let's just put things in perspective here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make excuses for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But the facts say that this dude just fought somebody 2 weight divisions over where he should be fighting. All right? And yet, Chavez Jr. balloons up to 200 plus pounds, you know, in his off time. But there's a big difference between 160-pound fighters and 175-pound fighters. Like, for example, your stamina. Your stamina is not going to be as good at 175 pounds as it is at 160 pounds. Mainly due to the fact that you're carrying around more weight. It's more stress that you're putting on your heart with the more weight that you're carrying around, okay? So you're going to get tired a lot quicker. This is something that you have to adapt to, all right? All right, you have to make those adjustments through experience. And Chavez Jr. doesn't have that experience, which is why you saw him get gassed out really quickly in the fight. Yeah, he was taking shots early on, but it was harder for him to move around the ring. All right, it looked like he was stuck in mud. And you can just see the differences between 175 pounds to 60 pounds. All right, not taking anything away from Fonfara. Fonfara came out and fought a great fight, but it's against someone who's coming up in weight, who doesn't have the experience at the weight, who did, you know, bit off a little bit more than he could chew. God damn, it took me a long time to say that. Anyway, people, I mean, to get to the nitty gritty of this shit, you know, you guys bite off the heads of people. You know, Chavez Jr., he took on a legitimate contender, okay? He took on someone that he was clearly disadvantaged against, all right, to create an entertaining fight for the fans. This is something that we should be applauding, okay? This is something that we should be encouraging. I would rather see somebody fight some stiff competition and get beat up and lose a fight than see somebody fight a bunch of bum motherfuckers and beat them up. I would much rather see somebody fight some stiff competition than fight bums, all right? And Chavez Jr., he could have very easily decided to fight some tomato cans and fucking made you guys pay all your money to go watch him fight a fucking tomato can, all right? So I just give respect where respect is due. Chavez definitely deserves respect for fighting Andrzej Fonfara, man. All right, and you guys really need to give credit where credit is due, man. All right, promote the shit that we want in boxing. We want fighters to fight top level competition. We don't want them to fight bums. So when a fighter fights some top level competition, we need to give that fighter our respect, show him support, and encourage that kind of behavior in the sport of boxing. All right. You can't sit up and complain, all right, when you get a fighter that fights a bunch of tomato cans, all right, and you want him to fight top-level competition, but as soon as he fights top-level competition and lose, you guys are out of his corner now. Now he's a bum. Now he's this. Now he's that. You can't fucking do that, all right? It's either or, all right? You have to either you're going to side with the fighter or you're not going to side with the fighter, all right? You're either going to ride and die or not ride at all, all right? You can't expect the fighter to you know, look out for the fans when the fans aren't loyal. This is why you see Danny Garcia versus Rod Salka, okay? This is why you see Danny Garcia in these way overly matched ass motherfucking fights. This is why you see fighters way over fighting people that are ranked 70th in the fucking division. This is why you see this shit, because the fucking fans, y'all ain't loyal. Anyway, man, I mean, you know, and another thing about this fight, man, I thought it was funny, man. Fonfara did this little thing where he kind of bumped Chavez with his elbow, and you could see like Chavez, I guess he like went down, he kind of sold it and shit. He looked at the ref like, what the fuck? And the ref took a point off and shit. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, Fonfara gonna get robbed. I'm like, this motherfucker gonna get robbed, bro. This shit over. So I was in this bitch, man. I was kind of rolling, but I mean, other than that, man, I was entertained. Chavez showed a lot of heart, man. Fonfara showed a lot of skill. He showed a lot of heart, a lot of grit, man. Just a good fight for the fans, man. Anyway, people, man, let me know what you guys think. All right. You can let me know in the comments section below. All right. I already told you about the Twitter. And after you subscribe, of course. But if you like what I'm saying, you feel what the fuck I'm talking about, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and share it with your friends. Let them know we talk that shit. All right. But until next time, it's your boy D Dynamite. I'm signing the fuck out. Holla at your motherfucking boy.